like. Make it personal to you, however that is. Oh, that's so cute. I love his little hat. You could be painting your bunny in. So this is a pretty spring bunny, and I think that nice, lighter, softer colors look really nice for spring pastel. As big or as small as you want it.
Hey, Nisi.
Hey, Rach.
Can you slow down a little bit?
Sure thing. Actually, I thought it was almost looking like a butterfly, but I thought it would be cool, and I had an apple today, so I saved the core.
That's great.
I wasn't sure if it would work or not, but I thought I'd give it a try.
Yeah, I really like that you're reusing the material that might not seem to have a purpose. It might have otherwise been thrown out.
Right. Well, hi, you guys. I'm Denise with Artist at Heart, and I'm so happy to be here with you guys today. Guess what? It's day one of Amazon Prime Days. So as I create with you guys today, I would like to share some of these great sales that are going on. I'm going to create a nice acrylic painting here. All right. And I'm going to show you a couple different techniques and different ways to create these pretty flowers. So I have these beautiful paints here with me, this nice little set. And again, this is what I'm going to be using. I have them here and my canvas. I'm going to adjust it a little bit so you guys can see it a little bit better. I am going to layer this painting. So I am going to cover the entire background first. So I'm going to work from the background to the foreground. Okay. Now, how you customize this, use your favorite colors. You don't have to use the same colors that I'm using. There's so many blues in this kit. So look at all the different blues. I always tell people, regardless of what colors you use, just make sure that you have some contrast. So look at all these pretty blues. And then there's this like turquoise blue. This is Viridian. This one's cerulean blue. So anyway, I just want to make sure that I have contrast. So when I do the green stem and the white flower, the background is painted so that those will show up. So again, you want to have contrast. So I already put some of the paints that I want to use on the plate, and I have this set right here. Okay. And it's got like 15 different brushes. So what I want is I want a flat paintbrush. See how the bristles are flat? So I'm just going to scoop up. I really like this paint here. That's the cerulean blue. So I'm going to scoop some of that up with a dry paintbrush, and I'm just going to start covering my canvas with it. Notice I'm using like X brush stroke, XXX. Now I do want to lighten it a little bit. So to lighten it, I'm just going to scoop up some of the white and mix it in there. And again, I'm just doing like an X brush stroke. So everybody has their own style of brush stroke, believe it or not. Now I'm kind of messy, so I already have my paint tablecloth down. It's washable, non-toxic paint because I'm using acrylic. But again, I would have something underneath it. So you can go all the way to the edge and even paint the sides if you choose to. But you see all those brush strokes? That's what makes the painting interesting. All right. I don't want the paint to be too thick because I want it to dry quick so I can layer my flower on top of it. Now, I could even put a little bit of the cobalt blue. See that? Now, again, I like to mix them together so it's not like fresh right out of the bottle, but you would use your favorite colors. You could be doing this in purples, pinks, fuchsias. Again, that's how you customize it and make it your own. So I'm just going to mix it in there. I don't like to see where one color stops and a new color starts. I like to mix them together. So I just keep doing X's, and you guys take your time when you do this. You never have to keep up with me. You just do it at your own pace. I go quick because, I want you to be interested in what I'm doing. So again, it's really fun, beautiful pigment. The colors are wonderful. Now, as I add the white, remember, I want to have contrast. So when I put that white flower on there, it shows up. So don't get too light. If you like the softer pastel colors, make sure that you're just not too light so that you can see the white fluff. And again, it doesn't have to be even. You don't want it to look like a pattern. You just want it to be, kind of organic looking. And again, you can add more white to it, and you don't want the texture of the canvas to show. You can see the texture right there. I'm just going to keep overlapping and adding more paint until I get that texture covered. I have not added any water to my paint, and I have not washed it off at all. I just keep adding to it. That way you're going to get that really rich pigment color and a nice consistency. You can always water down acrylic if you're looking for more of a transparent look or more of a watercolor look, but I like the opaqueness of acrylic paint. Maybe I'll put a little bit of this Viridian in there. It's really pretty. It's kind of like the color of my shirt. It's like a turquoise blue-green. And do you notice how I just keep overlapping the colors and blending them together? Again, not washing off my brush, not watering down my paint, just kind of mixing it. And if it looks too thick, you can always just kind of scoop up some of it and move it to another area. Again, I want mine to dry pretty quick so I can start layering my flower while you guys are watching. And it can be any kind of flower. I'm going to do the dandelion wish flower. Wish. What do you wish for? I wish I could get... Hi, guys. Hi, Richie. Thanks for watching, you guys. Thanks for giving me hearts and likes. Greatly appreciate it. All right. So again, I'm spreading it out. I'm covering up that texture. Richie's a teacher, always looking for new techniques for his students, enjoying the summer. A lot of teachers, you guys, buy their own art supplies, and this is, or supplies in general, pencils. So that this is a good time to grab stuff. Not that teachers want to be thinking about going back to school, but if you're going to buy stuff, you should do it during Prime Day so you can get your sale prices. I know people who are not in education don't understand that teachers do buy a lot of the stuff. So I know parents also buy a lot of the products for the classroom, which we greatly appreciate as educators for sure. It just really helps out all the classrooms when you have nice tissue for your, right, and art supplies and everything else. All right, so there's my background. And again, I just have a little bit of green in here. You know what? I put yellow on my plate too. So maybe I'll just put a little bit of yellow. And I use that same flat paintbrush. You see that? Let's just put a little yellow in there and see what I get. So again, yellow and blue do make a green, but I'm going to get a different kind of a green. It's almost like a hunter green. And I can leave, you know, that yellow in there too, just to make it more interesting. What happens if you don't like it as much? Well, you can paint right back over it. That's the best part of acrylic paints is you can layer it. Did you like it with the yellow or without? Remember, this is the background. So that's how you customize it. Now, if I keep mixing colors in there, it's going to get muddy. Do you see how that got muddy? It almost turned to a brown. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to scoop up some more of that pretty blue and put it right over it. Ta-da! Look at that. That's why I always tell people, don't worry about it. We'll fix anything. And if I was more patient and waited for it to dry, it would have covered it even better. So whenever you're layering the acrylic paint, if you really want to cover it up, you would be patient and let it dry. That way, it will cover it up completely. Look at that. That looks pretty cool, huh? So I always say, no one knows your mistakes but you. Well, and I'm telling you my mistakes. Like, well, I'm not sure I like that color too much. So now I'm just going to kind of cover it up. And now it kind of looks windy, doesn't it? Like a windy sky. All right. So that's good for my background. All right. Now let's try another brush. So look at all these pretty brushes I have here. So I'm done with this one. Wash it off, set it down so it doesn't dry. You don't ever want to leave a paintbrush in a cup for too long because it'll dry crooked. We don't want it to dry crooked. So these, the ones with the pointy tip, those are called brown paint brushes. So now I used a flat one for the background, and now I'm going to use a round tip one for the flower. All right, so let's go back. So now I'm going to scoop up some green. Now my paint, again, is still wet. And I think I'll do I'll do 2 flowers. And I like to tell people you can customize it however you want. If you have 2 people in your family, maybe you do 2 flowers. If there's 3 people in your family, maybe you do 3 flowers. So there's 1 stem. And I'll put a taller stem right here. Now, I'm not getting a great contrast, am I? Because I've made green in the background. So what I could do is I can add a darker green. What is this one called? This is called sap green. I could add a little bit of sap green to darken it up. See that? It's a little bit deeper. See if I like it. Does it give it enough contrast? I think it does. So it makes it stand out a little bit more. I'm just mixing it right in there. See that? I could add a leaf if I want to. I could put a leaf over here. I could add some tall grass. Let me put a little green in here. See that? I like to see the brush strokes because that's what makes the painting interesting. And again, you guys can put some like tall wild grass at the bottom. You could put some yellow in there if you want. Don't think too much about it. Notice I'm using vertical brush strokes because my grass is growing up. Oh, in my background. Thank you. Thanks, Richie. Monet. Monet is one of my favorite artists. Love Monet's work. I would love to own a Monet. And you guys, today and tomorrow's Amazon Prime Day, so get this stuff while you can. If you're watching live on Amazon, in the carousel, you're going to see the products and you're going to see the Amazon Prime Day sales pricing, which is awesome. So again, here's that's where you watch me, you guys, artistheart.live. There you can see me live on Amazon. And I'm going to just fill this grass in a little bit more down here, like that, across the bottom. So if you want to see more art videos, more art supply products, you guys can follow me there. All right, there's my stem. I haven't even used black yet. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take a little bit of black. This is called lamp black. I'm just going to put a little bit. You always use more white than anything else, and always use just a little bit of black. Again, I'm going to take another round paintbrush for my black. All right. You guys can do a black circle here, like that. And you can use the tip of the brush. Now, what I'm going to tell you guys about these paintbrushes, they don't have the numbers on them. A lot of paintbrushes have little numbers to give you an idea of what the bristle size is. These don't, but you get the idea by looking at it. I don't think that you need to have the number. A lot of times people ask me what size brush I'm using, and I say, use whatever you want, whatever you feel comfortable with. It depends really too on what size canvas you're using, right? If you're going to do a 16 by 20 painting, you're going to use a different size brush than you are if you're doing an 8 by 10 or 11 by 14. So just, use what you want to. So there's my little prongies. And again, I'm just using this fine point. There's even a smaller one. I'll try the smaller one next. So again, I want little prongs on this side too, and they can overlap each other. See that? And maybe not even all of them touch. All right, I'm going to try the tiniest one in this set. See this tiny one? So again, this is a round, fine point. I'm just going to put a little touch of black on it. I'm going to show you guys the difference. See how thin it is? And you would overlap that on the stem as well. Now, the heavier you press, the wider your bristle is going to spread. The gentler you are, or the lighter you press, the thinner your line is going to be. So I'm just doing really thin little lines here. And again, I'm going to overlap on that stem. That way it gives it some depth. So it looks like the stem is behind the flower. See that? Okay, now, and I could also, since I have black right here, add a little bit of black to my stem to give it some contrast. See that, how it just makes it pop out? Let's put some on this side. And I could put a little bit on my leaf. Over here. And again, it's not like, it doesn't touch everywhere. And maybe I put a few in the grass. Don't make it consistent. Don't make it look like a pattern. I'm just randomly putting these little black lines, again, to give it some contrast and make it stand out. And if you want, you can outline the whole thing, but I'm not going to. And again, maybe you have 5 flowers if you have 5 people in your family. So you could add whatever you want. You can even put some clouds up here. But remember, we don't want it to get too light. So when we do the puffy part of the flower, the fluff of our wish flower, I like to call them wish flowers, right? Now, I'm going to teach you guys a different technique. You can always use the bristle, but what I like to do is use the handle. So you just take your white paint and you dip the handle in it like that, okay? And same thing, if you go real gentle, you're going to get these little white dots. Now I'm going to try to make it circular. So I'm going to sketch out with the handle these little white dots. As I'm doing that, I'm giving my black paint time to dry. And it doesn't matter how big or how small it is. Or if it's a little lopsided like that. It doesn't matter. I can fix it later. If it makes you feel better, you guys can always sketch it out with a pencil or a Sharpie. I like to paint right on the canvas. So look, that's a little bit lopsided. So I'm just going to add a little bit more out here. Make it a little bit rounder. So I'm dipping and dotting, dip, dot, dip, dot. All right, now I'm going to go on to this one here. So they're going to be overlapping. And again, maybe one's bigger than the other. Now it looks like, you know, they're glowing, but I'm just waiting for that black paint to dry a little bit. I'm going to do it a little bit rounder here. And if you want, you can always wait for it to dry and then trace out, you know, better circles. If you want to be a perfectionist and find something a similar size and just trace it. I like, again, the organic, natural look. So it doesn't have to be perfect. We're going for fun art here, not fine art. We're fun art. I find painting really relaxing. I love teaching, especially when people are like, well, I didn't think I could do that. That's like my favorite part, when they're like, wow, I actually did it. So it's really nice. I did a party yesterday and we did this painting, and I'll share with you some pictures, but again, it's amazing how different everyone's is. So look here, you want to go right on top of the stem. So again, it's going to give it the illusion of some depth there. You see that? But everyone's was so different, but similar. So everyone has their own style of brushstroke, believe it or not. So I like to refer to your brushstroke like if your handwriting. Not that it's going to look like your handwriting. It's just going to look different than everybody else's. The way you hold your paintbrush, the amount of paint you use, the pressure when you're painting. So this is the part, again, you have to be patient. Don't rush it. You just keep dotting, dotting, dotting. It's going to take a while to get them on there. And of course, the more you add, the fluffier it's going to look. All right, so again, I'm going to overlap them on here. So this, I'm showing you guys the entire dandelion, right? two of them actually. I'm going to do another one later, and it's just going to be the big flower part, like a close-up view of it. So again, this is just fun art. You make it however you want to. You could put a bumblebee up here. You could add a ladybug. You could put a word. So I'm going to fill this in. Do you see? The more I'm adding, the fluffier it's looking. You could put a little yellow in there if you want to add a little yellow. So mine are so big, I think my stem might need to be thicker. We can always make it a little bit wider later. Dip and dot. Now, your dots are going to be different sizes if you use different handles. So obviously, the bigger the brush, the bigger the handle. The littler the brush is, the littler the dots are going to be. So I'm using the handle on the littlest brush, and the one that has the really thin black lines that I did, that's the brush I'm using for these. artistatheart.live is how you can watch me stream on Amazon. So here again, look at, I didn't do it on the black line. Now watch, I'm going to put it on there. See that? And it gave it a little bit of depth. There. Now we're getting to the fluffy flower, right? A little bit fluffy. Now the party that I did yesterday, and I did this painting, it was for it was a wedding shower. So it was like a his and her flower, and they could customize it by putting the date on, their wedding date, which is coming up. You could do your birthday, anniversary. Again, how you cut your favorite Bible quote could be on here. Pray, wish, dream, believe. That's how your family's name, the Smith family, or, like, yeah, you guys chat with me. Do you have any questions for me? I'd be happy to talk to you guys about anything that I can share with you. I will. So I'm a certified art teacher coming to you live from Cleveland, Ohio, sharing some art tips and painting. I love to paint. Actually, look at that. So I went to art school. I went to the Cleveland Institute of Art, and I wanted to major in painting. And my mom was like, you can't major in painting. You'll never make a living as an artist painting. So I actually majored in graphic design. Now, back in the day, we didn't have computers at our college. So like everything was hands-on. Now everything's computers. Now I feel like I sound like my grandmother. All right, what do you think about that? All right, so I think that's pretty good. They're pretty round. Again, maybe I widen up the stem a little. Maybe the stem what do you guys think? Do you guys think that the stem needs to be a little bit wider? Maybe. So look at that. Somewhat, my black is dry. Did you see that? It went right over the black. So no matter the color, it'll cover it. I'm going to put it, I like the black in there though, but maybe it needs to be a little bit wider. Maybe I put a little bit more tall grass in there. What do you think? And again, you guys can add anything that you want to. I like it a little bit wild. Now, I'm going to do one more thing. See, wasn't that pretty easy? You could do this, right? I know you can. All right, so I'm going to do one more thing. If you want, again, I'm going to take one of these little fine paintbrushes, round tip, and I'm going to take a little bit of white. All right, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to let me turn this so that you guys, so I'm not so crooked. I am going to put a little diagonal line right here. Like that. Maybe put that seed part so it's down here a little bit wider. Like that. And then you can do, what did you try to do the tip here? The little, like fluffy part. Like that. You know, like it's blowing around. Let me see if I can do another one a little bit better. Now, what happens if you do that and you don't like it? You just paint over it. Don't sweat it. Like that. Okay, it could be better. Don't judge. So what do? Bye-bye. You're going away. I don't like you. Erase. That is how you erase something you don't like. Ta-da! That was tough, right? Isn't that funny? That's how you erase it. So that's why I always say don't, especially when you're using acrylic paint. You couldn't do that, you guys, with watercolor. Watercolor is not so forgiving, but you can do it with acrylic. So again, let me try it again. Let's see. So let's try it over here. I'll start with the bottom part first. That's the little seed, right? These are the things that make us sneeze. Then I'm going to do a little diagonal line like that. All right, see, I have to concentrate. All right, like that. And then I'll do the little wispies like this. Is that one better? So you guys, art is like anything else. The more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. I think that one looks a little better. And then you could put a word. Again, now I don't have the best handwriting, but I could do wish, dream. What do you think? Wish. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do, how about this? What if I do this as my eye? Wish. And like I said, you guys, the more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. Like anything else. Sports, cooking, driving. All right. What do you think? You like it? Do you like it with the word or without the word? Because that's how you customize it and make it your own, right? And if you wanted to, I have all this, look at all this yellow paint. So if you want to add a highlight of yellow, maybe a little bit in my flower, maybe I put a little bit of yellow right there. Can you see that? A little bit of yellow right there. Maybe I put some yellow in my leaves. That's up to you guys. All right. So Randy's helping me behind the scenes today on this Amazon Prime Day. So do you like the yellow in there too? I thought I'd bling it up a little. Hi, Randy. Oh, I can't hear you.
Okay, I unmuted myself.
Perfect. So Randy's here. Randy helps me behind the scenes and shares with you guys and chats with you as we're doing this. And I thought we could talk about if we have any questions or any product information.
Yeah, what paint are you using?
So you guys, I am using this Kali Art acrylic paint, which I love, 24 colors. So they're beautiful. I do love to mix colors, but like I was telling you guys, there's like 4 different blues in this kit. So I have all these different blues, dark blues, light blues, sky blues, beautiful, right? But I do love this kit because it's a very rich pigment. Acrylic paint does come in different bodies. So this is a heavy body. Look at how thick it is. You see that? So it doesn't drip. So it's got a rich pigment. The colors are brilliant and thick, and it covers the canvas in one coat. I don't know if you saw me cover over the black, but even, oh, I didn't mean to do that. I'm not used to having an overhead camera, guys. You think I'm high tech here? But anyway, one coat, right? So it only takes one coat. If you're using a thinner bodied acrylic paint, it's more transparent. You have to layer it more. You have to use more coat. You wait for it to dry and then you add another layer. Well, I like one layer. I don't want to sit there and wait all day and do a couple layers. Even if it's black, I can paint white paint over black just by being patient and letting it dry. But again, it's beautiful, rich pigment, 24 colors, comes in a set, right? Really, really nice. I like this kit. And guess what, you guys? It's Amazon Prime sale. It's got a great price today. So I would definitely scarf it up because I did not get mine on Amazon Prime days. And it also comes with a set of paint brushes as well. I like to get the kit, but this paint is lovely. The colors are beautiful, non-toxic, washable, has a little pop top, okay? I keep them in the box to try to keep me organized. Even yellows, you guys. Let me show you this. So you have this really pretty bright yellow and the medium yellow. Look, can you, it's kind of hard on a computer to see, but they are beautiful colors and you get a variety of them. And then you can go into like the, this is yellow ochre. So this is another yellow. But you can always mix your own colors as well. It's so fun. So, all right. What else do I have for you guys today? So also, this is like a steal today. So this set, it's paintbrushes, great for acrylic paint. So what did I use today? I think I used.
I really want that paint set.
Yeah.
It comes in a case, so I won't have a reason to lose any of them.
Exactly. So you make sure you wash them off before you put them back, right?
That looks like it's almost over 80% off of Amazon
Can you believe
today.
that? That's crazy, right? 80%
wow,
off.
and they were originally $80. Wow.
So nice zipper case, right? Easy to use. They stay in place. Again, they don't have the sizes on them. They're great for beginners. I would say this is a great for beginner or intermediate for travel. If you're traveling and you want to take stuff with you, they wash with just gentle soap. And again, after you guys wash them out with like dish soap or just gentle soap, lay them flat to dry. Don't ever leave them in a cup, you know, because then the bristle will dry crooked. So really, really nice. 15 brushes. And I used 6 different brushes. So great set. Don't put them back until you wash them. Great to keep you organized. Like it a lot. This one's probably the biggest sale I have on my cart today. Would you say 80% off?
Yeah, 81% off. And then Richie commented on Amazon. He said his favorite item, and he's a teacher, so he probably knows the supplies. But he said his favorite item on the carousel is the Ticonderoga pencils. And he said that those are the best pencils out there, and your students will love them if you get a set.
I have, hold on, I have them around here somewhere. Let me spot them before I get up and go. I have them everywhere in my room, but I keep a case of them like in a pencil case. Hold on. I'll grab the one I'm using, you guys. It's got paint on it, okay?
But I did want to mention too that you have a kit on here that I was really interested in getting too, especially for my son, the I Bayam art supplies.
Yes,
and it has everything in those.
All right, so I wanted to ask you this before, but I didn't get around to it, but I have it right here. Hold on, let me grab it.
Okay.
It's like the grand opening. I didn't open it yet. So I thought we can either do it now or we can do it on the next show. I got it right here, you guys. Here I am. Hi, I'm back. All right, so I haven't even opened it yet. The thing I liked about this kit is, you guys know I like to teach using any supply, right? So any supplies that you have on hand. Well, this has everything. This has the oil pastels and pencils and paper. Look, and this would be an awesome gift too. So
it's on sale too. It's 40% off. So it's $29.99 instead of $49.99 now.
Isn't that awesome? So again, it's a great way to stay organized. Look at this. And I know the case comes in different colors, but I like the cherry. So this is cherry. So I can open it now, or we can do like a grand opening later. I haven't, but it has coloring books in it as well.
Well, let's do a grand opening later. But for now, if you want to see the product, if you go to artists@heart.live, if anyone's watching, you can see it in our carousel. So you can kind of get a preview of it that way, but I definitely want to see what's in there.
Yeah. And again, it has a nice case that has like a snap, but I haven't opened it yet. So
it's
if you guys
cute. It looks like a briefcase.
it does. And it's got coloring books too. So again, it's, I think, great for all ages. And it is like an art briefcase. So we'll open that up later. But I wanted to share it with you guys because, again, it's got a great price on it. So, and so I'm experimenting with my technology, right? And Randy's helping me along with Jim. I'm going to give Jim a shout out as well. So I have an overhead camera, you guys, right here. And I know I have the Archon in the carousel, but what that is it's an arm that shows the overhead view, right? So I have my phone in there, which is, I'm trying to be high tech here and show you guys this different view so you can actually see me create a little bit closer. So that's how I do that. I have that arm, that Archon that's clamped to my table. And it also has a place where you can put an iPad. So if you wanted to use an iPad instead of your phone, it can do both. It can do the iPad and the cell phone.
That's on sale too for Prime Day, from what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Nice.
I love these Prime Day sales, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a great time, especially for back to school. So why teachers love these pencils. I mean, I like to say Dixon because Dixon's also the name, the Ticonderoga. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing it correctly, but do you know why these are the best pencils? Because they stay sharp. They don't break. Okay, they're really, really strong. So if you ever bought like the really pretty sparkly glitter pencils or the ones with the unicorns on them, you have to sharpen them all the time because they're so cheap.
So I do have a nerdy pencil question about those pencils.
Okay.
So there's two types of pencils. There's the one that like is actually, it feels like wood, but then there's also like the flimsy one that feels like, and the lead on that is just like too soft. Is that one more of like the wood one?
This is a wood one that stays really strong. And I'm telling you, you can't, like, kids love to get up and go sharpen their pencils all the time. You know, but teachers don't like that. So again, and I draw with these and I write with these. So, and look, even though I have paint all over it, I just picked it up over there. It's got a nice tip on it. I buy these in bulk. And again, I would recommend them to anybody who has pencils, especially educators, you know, who have a ton and don't want their kids at the pencil sharpener all day long.
Those are the really strong pencils to where you could actually cut those in half, and for one pencil you'd have two. So as a teacher, I'm sure that would be something really fun to do for your class too. You get twice the amount of pencils with a strong pencil like that by cutting it in half and then sharpening it again.
So you'd have
budget friendly.
There you go. And then I guess you could get the little erasers that you could pop on the end. Or have it done right, but this does have an eraser too, which is nice. So these are usually in my cart because I love them so much. So anything else? I forgot to talk about this again but you guys want to make a flower on glass, right? I usually like to always recommend if you guys want to paint on something other than canvas, you guys can do it on any type of supply, but you need a different kind of paint. So in the cart is the Folk Art multi-surface paint. That means you can paint on any surface. So you can do the same thing that I just did on any surface. It could be on anything. But the regular acrylic paint that we use today, it's regular acrylic. So to use it on glass, you need a multi-surface paint. You can't just use any acrylic because it'll wash off. All right. If you want it to wash off, that's fine. But these are really, really fun little projects to do. If you're having friends over, you could do it for a little bachelorette party or a family reunion or anything. So anything that I teach you guys to do, you can do on a different surface, but use a different paint. So again, the multi-surface paint is an acrylic paint that you can use for any painting, including glass, including metal, and it won't wash off. Anything else you guys want to know about? We're going to go live again later. I hope you watch. I hope you guys are finding some of this stuff useful. And Randy, again, thanks for coming on with me and sharing your information, you guys. Feel free to message me, text me. My full website, artistatheart.org. Follow me on Amazon Live, artistatheart.live. I'm going to go live in a little while. The next time we go live, I am going to share with you guys a big flower, just up close, no stem, right? It's going to be similar, but it's going to be large. So I can't wait to see you guys in a little while. I'll be streaming extra today and tomorrow. I hope to see you again soon. Thanks so much, you guys. Keep shopping. I'll see you. I'm Denyse with Artist at Heart. Bye, guys.